Hey, everybody. Welcome back to SourceFed Live following the Republican debate here in Houston, Texas. I'm Matt Lieberman.
I'm William Haynes.
And we are here in the spin room. The mood in here is like really, really tense. We're waiting for the candidates to get off stage after hours of slugging it out. It was a hell of a debate. It was easily the most interesting, the most aggressive debate that we've seen. But then also, it was so long.
So long.
What did you think of it, Will?
I am 22 years old. I could not stand up for that long.
Yeah.
I could not do it. Donald Trump is 69.
He's 69 years old.
At the end, he was holding on because it's hard, all right?
It's hard out there being a Trump.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So we are right here on the right side of the press line, and the candidates are going to be coming out this way. We're going to be trying to get the candidates on this stream live with us. It is easily the biggest thing that we've ever done in SourceFed.
In my life, huh?
Yeah, So, hey, go to Twitter. Tweet your questions for us and any questions for the candidates. We're going to do our best to get our hands on them. Fox News is right next to us, so they have to come through here. This is going to happen.
Hello, Fox News.
Yeah, so continue to send your Twitter questions to us. Darren is going to be sending them to me via this little tablet here.
Some of the people at Fox News haven't been looking me in the eye. And I don't know what the issue is. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something going on there.
He looked away.
Did you say something?
No,
did you do something?
Myself,
Have we made so many videos making fun of them?
some videos. Don't type in politics be like on YouTube.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
So, Will, coming out of this debate, we have 5 candidates. Really, it's coming down to a 3-candidate race. Do you think that Ben Carson or John Kasich made a real case for themselves tonight or relevancy?
Oh, no. John Kasich should, he would be a real cool baker.
Sure.
I don't think he needs to be in charge of the country. He's real nice, it seems. But, we need somebody that's really going to get up there and stick it to him and speak passionately. He was way too just, happy to be there.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, the thing that really got me about this debate was, Rubio's aggression. He really came out hard.
He must have been talking to Hulk Hogan before. He got pumped up, and he gave it to everybody.
Yeah. Kasich, I feel like he made some decent points, but he never really struck anybody. He never really hit back, and he didn't demand the time that any candidate for president deserves.
Yeah. Sadly he doesn't seem like the type of person to to throw shots, but sadly that's kind of what you have to do to be a politician and to be president, is to not be afraid to go to someone and say, hey, what you said, what you did is wrong and false. He just, he could totally just be about the truth and whatnot, but it takes a little bit more than that.
Yeah, and then you look at somebody like Ben Carson, who had to plead for someone to even attack him, to even recognize that he was there.
Yeah.
It was just the saddest thing. Every time he started speaking, and he was so soft and so sweet. It's like somebody whispering sweet nothings before you go to bed, not a president.
We don't know what was going on right before all these candidates going on, but if you look at the beginning, all 5 of them looked like they were just asleep.
Yeah.
Just asleep.
Listen, I know that it's a long election cycle and they're all exhausted, but you have to come out as prepared, as fired up as Trump, Rubio, and Cruz did tonight.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So who do you think, in your opinion, obviously we're heading into Super Tuesday. There's a lot of delegates. Over 500 delegates are on the line in one single day.
Yes.
Who won the debate? Who do you think is going to benefit most coming out of this debate?
To me, honestly, I think Marco Rubio was the true winner for me.
Yeah.
Out there, spitting lines, spitting fire. I like that he played Donald Trump's game and really, he was out there doing jokes.
Yeah.
He let him know that, you're not the only one out here that likes to say whatever he wants and acts like he means it.
Well,
so I
that's the
appreciated
thing.
that.
He was the first person, and it's crazy that it's taken this long, but he was the first person to really treat him not only as a threat, but to call him out on his shit.
All of it, too.
All of it. He never let anything get past him. It was very, very rare that he piped down. Everyone was fighting for time.
This is what you were saying in the beginning about how they needed to team up on him, right?
Well, that was my concern, was were Rubio and Cruz going to attack each other, or were they going to attack Trump? Pundits were divided going into this debate. They decisively went to attack Trump all the way. The question is, are his supporters so entrenched that it doesn't matter?
Sometimes when you're in love with somebody, you don't care because the rose-tinted glasses are on. I looked at all the polls, and it still said that Donald Trump was top. He didn't answer a single question. Maybe he did.
Yeah.
But most of them he didn't. He deflected. He did the the usual politician thing.
Well, that brings us to one of our first tweets from @Brian83MSU. Trump said millions of women are helped by Planned Parenthood, yet he wants to defund it. It's like he tried to get everybody in one comment, but it doesn't make any sense. He's like, I love Planned Parenthood, but I'm still going to get rid of it because that's how I'm going to get elected.
Why? Why don't you just stand on some type of firm ground that you believe in?
Right, even if it's like a position we don't agree with, if you're going to be that guy, be that guy.
Be
Like,
more than
isn't that what people are electing you for? Especially when people are like, he's calling people a liar, they're calling him a liar.
When you're up there and you got a $1 billion blanket to just lay down back on when all this falls over, just get up there and say anything.
Yeah. At the end of the day, he gets to go home to Melania Trump. You know, if look,
like, you know, if Ted Cruz loses up there, I don't think he has a mansion to go back to.
Yeah.
So maybe.
So we have another tweet here from @I'mSoOddish. How did it feel to have want to someone to pick on you to be able to talk to Ben Carson?
Oh.
We're gonna ask him. We're gonna ask him that when he comes through.
See, that's why, you know. Well,
Are you
throw
ready?
your own shots. I'm so ready for Dr. Ben Carson.
Yeah.
Did you know he separated conjoined twins once?
I did know that. I've heard that quite a bit in this election cycle.
I don't think that's a reason to get elected president, but that's still legit.
Yeah.
Cool.
No.
You a real doctor, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You're a real doctor.
No, we need someone to unite the parties, not divide twins.
Yeah.
@WitherSpartan4 has a question for Donald Trump. How do you think those bruises will look after that beating from Cruz and Rubio?
Ooh.
I doubt he sees it that way.
He probably doesn't.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, during the debate, Google Data Lab was putting a lot of stuff up on the screens in here, and frankly, there still was a massive majority that felt that Trump won the debate, that he was doing well throughout. There were a lot of people who weren't sure who won. I know that I agree with you that Rubio was like a real winner here. I don't know if he won the entire debate, but he definitely had the most impressive showing.
Yeah.
He came out, he was the most organic that he's ever been. He was very well researched. He was well rehearsed, but it didn't feel rehearsed, you know? Like some of Cruz's answers felt a little stilted to me, like I'm going to repeat all of my positions again and again and again until you change your mind.
I feel like Ted Cruz is kind of running on the fact that he is just undeniably himself. I think that's what he's trying to put off into the world. He's saying, these are my policies. I'm not going to change them. This is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's I've never understood why people are so against changing. People change. The country changes. Why can't you change your policies too based on that?
Yeah.
I don't think listening to polls is necessarily always a bad thing. Sometimes it's important. Listen to the American people.
Yeah. Well, Donald Trump is somebody who, you know, rightly or wrongly, he has evolved his policies and his positions in order to remain relevant in this race.
Him and Mitt Romney, like, y'all are too rich to be wearing these flip-flops, all right? I just want to say that was a good one. I'm going to check mark myself on that one.
You can go
All
check
right.
mark yourself.
Y'all are too rich to be wearing
All right.
flip-flops.
I want to know, Will, what to you was the best moment of this debate?
Oh,
That's all
my
right.
God. So many
There were a
good
lot of
moments.
amazing moments that, like, everyone in here was cheering, laughing, screaming.
It
A
was a
lot
good
of
time.
screaming in this debate. Who was that shrieking woman, and does she need medical attention?
Somebody in there was yelling too much, all right? But every comedy show needs someone next to the microphone laughing real loud. But for me,
That woman came straight out of a Cat Williams DVD.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My favorite moment was, what did he say?
Oh, Rubio's watch line?
No, it wasn't the watch line. It was when the guy who was interviewing Trump, who Trump went on his radio show
It
about
was
a year before.
Hugh Hewitt.
Yeah, and then he talked to him about it, and Trump was like, "Well, first off, no one listens to your radio program. Check the ratings." You don't gotta say that on national TV.
Yeah.
Give this dude a break.
Especially when it's somebody that you've clearly collaborated with in the past.
Then why did you go on it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was my favorite part.
Yeah, I thought that was great. To me, it was between that. It was Carson begging someone to attack him just so he can remain relevant. And
At
then
the
also
end, the camera wasn't even on him. If you didn't see, the camera wasn't even on Ben Carson. He said, "Someone attack me, please."
because it's the only way that he could get time.
That was the most vulnerable tone I'd ever heard. It was relatable. Not getting my vote, but I get it.
Tonight was not the night to be coy, and he was like really quiet and really shy and not fighting for time. But then at the end of the day, he starts complaining about the time that he never got. The fact is, if you're going into a cable news debate or any live debate for the presidency at this juncture, you know that they're not going to give you the time that you require if you're not in the lead.
Absolutely.
Like it's crazy to think otherwise.
And the bells that are going off, no one listens to those bells. I don't know why, anybody would think that they would.
Well, that's the thing. The big loser of this debate was the sound effect that was telling people to stop talking because they ignored that. They ignored that more than they ignored Ben Carson, and that's saying something.
That's saying something.
Let's go back to our Twitter questions.
Okay.
At Czar the Drummer on Twitter asked, do you think Trump's hype will help him last much longer? The sad thing is, it's not just hype. The man has leads in nearly every state that's doing polls. He has double-digit leads in multiple states, including Florida, Senator Rubio's home state. It's one of the, it has 99 delegates, and it's one of the states that some states, they'll divvy up the delegates based on how many votes you get. But in states like Florida, winner takes all. So if Trump wins in Florida, that's 99 delegates that go immediately into his pocket.
That's way too many delegates for one person.
Yeah.
He needs to share them.
Well, so remember, right now Donald Trump has 82 delegates. He requires 1,237 to become the presumptive nominee for the RNC. He's still a long way away, but to consider him as anything other than a real contender is idiotic at this point.
It's real. I mean, because I know in the beginning, I was one of the first people, I was like, oh, this is a joke. This is funny. This is never going to happen. I remember when he was just leading the birther right years ago, saying, oh, where's Obama's birth certificate? Now he's on stage, for real. Everybody knows who he is, so it's totally a real thing now.
Look, the fact is, people are afraid. They're disenfranchised. This country is at a crossroads, at like a peak moment of division that it hasn't seen in a very long time. And this is somebody who has given hopeless people a real target for their aggression, and he's doing it repeatedly, and all he wants to do is make America great and project strength. And these are things that people want at their very core, and that's the scary thing. This is real. This is happening. If you don't like Donald Trump, if you don't want him to be president, do your research and vote for someone that you care about. If you are a Republican or you're an independent and you don't want him to be president, then don't vote for him. If you want him to be president, go ahead and vote for him. It seems like plenty of people do. But know why you're doing it. My biggest problem, and this is my problem every time Donald Trump takes the stage, is he never ever answers a question with an actual policy idea.
He talks about his friends and who he knows.
Right.
And the 10,000 people he employed.
Or the real estate deals that he's made. You know, he never talks about the businesses that went bankrupt or about the hotels that he had to sell off. Who's coming? Who's coming, Will?
Bobby Jindal. But he dropped out, so it's okay.
Yeah. No, yeah.
He's not a candidate
Bobby
anymore.
Jindal is coming through. I think he's making a stop over at Fox News.
I want to shake his hand.
You want to shake Bobby
Jindal's
Jindal's hand?
get in there?
Can you give him dabs?
I'm going to give him a dab. If he comes this way, I'm for sure giving him a dab.
Oh, there's John Kasich. John Kasich is next door over at the Fox News booth. So
does anybody want to come to SourceFed?
We're going to keep an eye on that.
YouTube.
You want to go over there and hassle him? No.
I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah. So we're gonna do our best to get Governor Kasich to stop by on his way past the Fox News booth. Obviously, he's got a lot to do over there, but as he comes through, we are going to try to snag him. Let's go back to our Twitter questions while we wait.
All right.
At JMTM, who do you think is going to take the candidacy, or is it too early to decide after this debate?
I think, honestly, it's too early to decide. I mean, because, once again, these are just the Republicans running against themselves. We still don't know how they're going to line up against the Democrats.
Well, that's the thing is, like, you still, even if, say, Donald Trump took every single delegate on Super Tuesday, which is highly unlikely, but, again, not impossible, he still would require like almost or more than half of the delegates that he would require to become the nominee.
Do you think this is what it felt like when Ronald Reagan was running for president in the 80s? And everybody was like, he's an actor. He's an actor. He can't be president. And he swept the board, unlike anyone ever before.
Yeah, well, you know, obviously we don't know what it was like to be back then, and I haven't done all of my research on that. But the fact is, no one is about to take the candidacy, but we are, you know, weeks away potentially from knowing. Like, look, it's a long primary election cycle, but decisions are being made. People are making the decision at the ballot box every day. So if you care, if you live here, if you want to say in your future, vote. Go vote. Go online, Google, how do I know where to vote? How do I register to vote? And go vote.
So many of your idiot friends will tell you that, voting isn't important. They're wrong. Voting is actually super duper important. That's how everything gets decided on. So don't listen to those people.
Look, does anyone remember who Joseph Kony is? Did sharing a status do crap? Go
Did you just
vote.
bring up Coney?
I did bring up
Coney 2012.
Yeah, because sharing a think piece about Donald Trump isn't going to stop him from getting the presidency.
No.
So if you care about that, then that's what you should do. Now, here's what I know.
The only thing that actually matters is voting.
Right. Coming out of this debate, I think that the top three candidates, Rubio, Cruz, Trump, are definitely, coming strong. So Marco Rubio is on the floor here. We are going to do our best to get a hold of him as he comes through.
I gotta give it that to Marco Rubio.
We got to talk to him because he did a fabulous job in that debate.
That
the
Rick
GOP
Perry?
leading into this debate.
Rick Perry?
Is that Rick Perry?
I think it is Rick Perry. I
It
gotta
could
tell
be
him
Rick
that
Perry.
jacket was a mistake. 4 years ago, dude.
Will,
jacket
you are
was
so focused on bits, you're
I'm
forgetting
oh,
you're
yeah.
on a live stream.
Oh, yeah, we're on a live stream.
Look, the GOP is going to consolidate behind either Rubio or Cruz to take on Trump. Too many of the establishment GOP members don't want Trump to be the nominee. That means that we're going to see a big push behind one of them. We're going to see now before the debate. A lot of folks were saying that's going to be Marco Rubio because Cruz is kind of on a downswing after he fired his director of communications.
He got
after
caught photoshopping.
all the photoshopping.
He's in a real Kim Kardashian problem right now.
Yeah.
Got caught photoshopping.
His younger sisters are going to launch a far more successful app, and it's going to make him look real stupid.
It could happen.
Exactly.
It could happen.
So you have to remember that they're going to consolidate behind one of these candidates. It's probably going to be Marco Rubio, especially after that performance tonight.
Tonight was incredible for Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
He really showed that I think he went also on the platform that he is the most moderate. He showed that even though his ideas are conservative, he can also bring it back to a place that isn't so biased.
Right. He's not a demagogue. He's not a warmonger.
No.
He is somebody who's going to reflect a lot of those same policy ideas, a lot of those same values, but he is more of a policy candidate instead of a values candidate. Does that make sense? Like, he's not letting his religion dictate what he's doing. He's not letting a ton of buzzwords dictate what he's doing. He has some opinions that differ from the far, far, far right, and that makes him someone to watch.
I can't believe the guy that wouldn't look me in the eye is hugging Rick Perry. So what does that tell you?
It tells you a lot.
I'm so happy about this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, this is easily the first time that a YouTube channel has had access to real presidential candidates, like Republican or Democratic presidential candidates, moments after a debate. And this is how we're choosing to use it.
I'm not saying we're unworthy, but we are unqualified.
Yeah.
I will say that.
All right. I want to thank, really quickly, the 2,200 people who are watching this live on youtube.com/SourceFed. Continue to tweet at us. Send us your questions. Send questions for the nominees as they are getting closer and closer.
Closer.
Yes. Send questions for us. We're going to keep this going as long as we can until Will does something that gets us kicked out.
I'm honest. I know we're here live on the live stream, and I thank you guys for always watching our videos. Just know that it's all built up to this moment where I do something very embarrassing for all of us, okay?
Yeah.
In the name of politics.
So we have a question here from Courtney 175055504. It's a lot of numbers, Courtney. There was a lot of immature fighting. Which candidate do you think came across as the most pathetic? Love you guys.
Most pathetic. Carson, why so?
Well, he didn't even participate in the fight. It's almost because he didn't participate, but it's like it's the way he didn't participate. Like, he should have come off as like, I am the level-headed one. I'm the one who's taking this the most seriously. I'm going to talk to you, like human beings.
How passionate can you be when you look up and you have 3%?
Yeah.
When you have 3%
It's
out of
hard.
100.
Yeah.
This isn't 3 out of 10. This is 3 out of 100.
Yeah.
So
no, that's the thing. Is like he didn't come off with the fighting. Yeah. Yeah, that would be amazing, Ed. Thank you. Thank you.
You're gonna move him over to here?
Yeah.
Why will he only talk to you is my question. I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
I'm alive.
So continue to send us your questions. A big thank you to everybody who's watching us live on youtube.com/SourceFed. We are going to get some of the candidates on the air with us right now. This is the 2016 election. For many of you, it's your first election. Again, we cannot emphasize enough. If you care about your country, if you care about your future, if you live in America, go and register to vote. You can search right now. It's not that hard. It'll take you 20 minutes.
Once again, it is literally the most important thing.
Yeah.
Our country is
Yeah.
based on democracy. Oh,
Senator Cruz.
Ted Cruz. He's taller than I thought.
Yeah.
Aw.
We'll get Senator Cruz on the way out.
We made awkward eye contact. I'm voting for him. Fuck it.
No, just because he's the first person to give you eye contact out of the establishment.
So yeah, like he's the guy now.
It's a big deal. Well, we're trying to get some folks. Let's go back to the Twitter. Now, at Kudo Gear wants to know what we think of Donald Trump's health care plan.
He didn't tell us about it.
No. He said we're going to rearrange the state lines. Okay, for anybody else, what does that mean? How does that affect my health care other than offering more opportunities for more businesses to get in there and offer different types of health care or offer different plans or offer different prices? I understand it, at its core, the roots in capitalism, but there isn't actually a full plan there. He kind of dodged the question.
When asked several times, he didn't give an answer and kept saying that there are multiple plans. There's so many plans.
Oh,
but
so
which one of them
many
are you going
plans.
with?
Yeah.
You got these. This is our booth.
Everyone is. We are getting crowded.
It's because Ted Cruz is here. Well, someday I might run.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's
2042.
What's your health care plan, Will?
My health care plan is give it to anybody who's like needs it. But
hey.
If they don't have money, you can't have it.
I would have taken that over anything I heard tonight. So going into Super Tuesday, we have a ton of delegates up for grabs.
Yes.
Do you think Donald Trump is going to dominate this conversation? Do you think that this debate is going to make a major change for one of the other candidates?
Well, honestly, from the way things are going, Donald Trump seems to be getting what he wants. For some reason, people who know how to acquire billions of dollars also know how to get whatever they want. So I'm not going to be surprised if he comes out with all of them. This is some real Ronald Reagan stuff.
Will, where are you going?
I'm trying to get in the Ted Cruz action.
Will is going to try to track down one of these candidates and get them live on the stream with us. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. YouTube.com/SourceFed. Continue to tweet at SourceFed.
I'm the youngest
your
reporter.
Questions.
I'm the youngest reporter
Will.
here. I would love. Okay.
Will, you can't do that.
I can't do it. They won't let me.
No. We are working on getting Governor Kasich, Senator Cruz, Senator Rubio. They are right here with the Fox News booth. They are within spitting distance.
I wouldn't do that though.
You wouldn't. No. Don't spit on them. You will get kicked out.
I would love to shake hands with Governor Perry.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this.
Pardon me, Governor Perry. He's having a real personal conversation right now.
Can I have a fist bump? Thank you. Fist bump to Rick Perry.
William
now what,
Haynes
mommy?
just fist bumped Rick Perry. I wanted to ask him a question, but a fist bump's okay. All right. So John Kasich is about 6 feet to my right.
All right.
Another outlet has kind of jumped in here, and they've got him on the press line here.
They have bigger cameras than us, so they can do that.
Yeah. As YouTube, we will always be the last people, but we are doing what we can to get him as he passes by. Let's go back to our Twitter questions. At Gunzik1 wants to know, can we rank the candidates by their performance?
Performance on top, Marco Rubio. On the bottom, it's got to be Dr. Carson.
Yeah, I would say it would probably be. Actually, it's hard because, like, as much as I love Marco Rubio's performance and he affected me the most tonight, I also agree with more of his policies than I do with Donald Trump's positions because there aren't any policies.
And we got to give number 2 to Ted Cruz because, I mean, I think he was coughing the whole time, but he stayed consistent.
Yeah.
And, his rhetoric, he came there and he was passionate.
Was it him or was it Ben Carson who was coughing?
No, I thought it was Ted Cruz.
It was Ted Cruz.
Can we ask him?
Yeah, we can ask him. For me, I would rank Rubio first just for being impressive and for bouncing back after the last debate where he was kind of slaughtered, followed by Trump, Cruz, Kasich, and Carson.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Once again, a big thank you to everybody who's watching us live on youtube.com/SourceFed. Continue to tweet at SourceFed. Send us your questions for us and for the candidates.
Stay on here. I swear to God, I'm not going back to California until I get another fist bump from a Republican.
You're going to get several, Will.
I swear on my fucking life.
Yeah. Man, it is harder to extract a candidate than just about anything I've ever seen in my entire life.
We need a guy over there. I can't be the guy. I've already been told.
Yeah, you can't be the guy.
I can't be the guy.
We need.
Excuse me, mister, you want to talk to some YouTube kids?
Yeah, it has been so crazy down here all day. See, if I had gotten to go back to the hotel, and if I was wearing my suit, they would be talking.
Lieberman
to us.
wanted to shave. He couldn't do it. But now you look mature.
Thank you.
You look mature.
I'm an unshaven millennial wearing a chambray and jeans and Nikes.
My friend, I took a Michael Kors watch from him. That should be able to get me into the area. So.
So we are still trying to get Governor Kasich on our stream. Will is moving towards the throng. He is doing what he can.
I've been told once again by our producer that that's not a move I can do.
Once again, our producer has let us know that it gives off the appearance of a threat.
One more, then I'm getting us kicked out.
Mm-hmm. We're trying to get all the way to the convention, Will.
Yeah. This is a fun game.
Yeah. Will, do you have a question prepared for Governor Kasich when he comes through?
I do not. I do have one for Dr. Carson, and I will not say it out loud. It is a good surprise.
Yeah.
I can't wait to stumble through it.
I'm very curious from Governor Kasich's perspective. Governor Kasich. Take this as a message. Republicans don't have time for YouTube.
Don't you think it would be crazy if you just stood up there for 3 hours and then you had to come out here and stand some more? I don't, can we get them a chair? Can someone get a governor a chair?
Yeah. The difficult thing is being live on the air and trying to get people's attention all at the same time.
Are you one of the candidates?
I am not one of the candidates.
Kinda.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh. He could have been.
Okay.
Oh, here. Dr. Carson is right here.
Yeah. Will, stop, Will.
It is not him. It is not him.
Will,
Sorry.
please don't.
Yeah. It's too late. It's past my bedtime.
Will, let's talk about immigration.
Oh.
Immigration dominated the early parts of this debate.
Okay. All that immigration stuff was too funny to me. All right, we'll build a wall, all right? And we're going to make it 10 feet higher.
Yeah. Who's going to effing pay for it? When Wolf Blitzer said effing, I nearly peed my pants laughing.
I liked when Donald Trump said, oh, if I had said, the F word, it'd be on national news. Guess what? It is on national news.
Yeah.
We're talking about it on national news.
Yes.
So,
yeah. That's a diss at CNN. They put on this wonderful debate. Think about that, Trump.
Immigration is a big issue for the conservative area.
Well, okay, so one of the points of contention was, did Donald Trump introduce immigration into the larger conversation?
I honestly think it's always been an issue, but the thing that I like to, the thing that I've noticed is I feel like conservatives like to use it as a fiscal problem, a money problem, but I feel like it's more of a social problem to them.
Yeah.
Or, anybody.
Well, here's the question: based on that issue, how do you personally feel about the candidates who approach that issue the best, in your opinion?
How do I feel about the candidates? Well,
we're not. Neither of us is in favor of a wall. Let's be clear about that.
I don't think we need to build a wall up. That sounds like he was talking about. Donald Trump was talking about how China has the Great Wall of China. You know how long ago that was built? We don't need to be building walls anymore. We need to build bridges.
Well, there we go. At Nolan Healy 92 wants to know, what did you think about Trump's ideas on a Canada border versus Mexico? Well, he's basically. Look,
I know. He was like,
it's a much bigger border. We couldn't possibly do a wall there.
We don't care.
That's crazy.
Americans don't care if they come from Canada. They look like us. Yeah. They speak English. Therefore, Americans don't care.
We are working on getting Governor Kasich. He is right behind us.
This is one of the weirdest things that's ever happened in my life. I'll remember it forever, I'm sure. I really hope Lieberman gets Kasich over here.
Governor Kasich taking a wonderful photo. Governor. Yeah.
I know he heard you, Lieberman.
Yeah.
I know he heard you for sure.
Governor, we're live on YouTube.
I
don't know if you've heard of it.
Do you know how many millennial votes are over here?
There are lots of millennial votes right down the barrel of this lens.
This is like putting a commercial in front of the newest X-Men movie.
Yeah. Did you know how many people on the other side of this lens use Instagram? I've heard great things about it.
Oh my God, Governor. So many 18 and 24-year-olds. Oh my God.
All want to lose their health care, Governor.
Oh my God.
Please.
Rick Perry is talking to a woman.
Yeah. She's getting hugs from everyone.
I have to ask him about the jacket. Do you remember the jacket he wore in the video? The Brokeback Mountain jacket.
Oh my God, Will. Okay.
Governor of Texas.
Yeah.
Governor of Texas.
Thank you. Governor Abbott of Texas is coming through right now. Governor Abbott. Governor Abbott. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Governor. So hopefully Governor Abbott will be working his way back to us. Again, thank you to everybody, the few thousand people who are currently watching us live on youtube.com/SourceFed. What?
I'd like to make an apology.
Oh.
The Fox News guy did look me in the eyes just now, so
Okay.
he and I are cool.
Yeah. Again, a big thank you to everybody who's watching us live. Obviously, it's a big deal that we're here. We're so honored to be here, and we're trying to do the best job that we can to voice your opinions, to voice your thoughts, to get you the information that you require to make the proper choice that you need to make this election cycle.
I've been shocked so many times
I know.
in here.
I don't know what it is here, but there have been electric shocks all day long, and I'm not just talking about the ones in the debate.
I think the Republican Party is finding that momentum and shocking us up. You need my mic now?
Yeah. At G1TTU Drummer thanks us for voicing the YouTube generation, and we appreciate your support in doing that. The fact is, like, the world is changing. The world is changing, and you're a part of that. Like, we're very, very lucky to be a part of that, but it's 100% because of you. You aren't going to just wait for cable news to tell you what's going on in your world or what to believe or how to think. You want to know the truth, and you want to make up the decision for yourself.
You know, our country was built on the backs of slaves and immigrants.
I take you seriously if that wasn't an actual catchphrase of yours around the office.
If Obama said it, and
Yeah,
I guess we
I
can't
know.
speak. It's true.
Let's read a few more tweets. At Holiday Hooker wants to know, how will you revive...
Can we look better than that first?
I know. It's like I talk about the voice of our generation.
Please make
and
up a
then
name.
tweet from Holiday Hooker. Come on.
Only on the holidays, though.
Yeah. Only on the holidays.
Well, you know,
Just for the
politicians
holidays.
love hookers, so it's the same thing.
Yeah. Ted Cruz is stepping off of the Fox
Okay,
News stage.
maybe we can get him.
We need to snatch
What
him.
should I say to him?
Ask him how he feels about the debate. Let's start small.
Okay. Mr. Cruz.
Yeah.
Mr. Cruz. Maybe he doesn't like.
Yeah.
Mr. Cruz.
Okay.
I got the question.
He's conferring with some of the folks over at Fox News.
Let's make him think Bernie Sanders is over here.
Do your best, Will.
All right,
Yeah.
Mr. Cruz, want to fight?
Marco Rubio's working the other side of the line.
I really want to see him.
Yeah. You want to go check in with him?
I do. I'll be right back.
Okay. So William Haynes right now is going to go talk to the folks around Marco Rubio and see if we can get, at the very least, a comment from the senator. Ted Cruz is right over there. Let's. I'm gonna read this tweet while we wait. How will you revive comedy and harmony between Democratic and Republican legislators? Please be specific. The issue, that is a huge issue, and it's something that's not going to get solved in 1 year or 2 or 4. It's the reason why so many people, both who support Bernie Sanders and who support Donald Trump, are looking for a revolution, because they feel like there is no answer. Because every time that it's, to be honest, look, it's getting money out of politics. Like, if we're being true, if we're being honest, it's getting money out of politics, because at the end of the day, if people need supporters, and they do. Did we miss him again?
Yeah, we did. You could have
Well,
got him.
you gotta
I'm not good. See,
snipe him.
I'm kind of like Dr. Carson. I don't want to intrude.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that
You can't
guy.
be Dr. Carson.
I'm not
though.
on stage, though.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if people need to get reelected and they need money to get reelected, they're going to do whatever they can to make sure that they get that money. And on both sides of the aisle, you have big donors
So get
who
us- oh,
great
Cruz is going away.
And there we go. Ted Cruz spoke to
There's more than
Fox
just
News,
Fox.
and that was it.
Was that Rick Perry right behind me? I got to ask him about the jacket. Do you remember the Brokeback Mountain jacket?
Will, stop it.
Okay, I can't.
You're not going to ask him about the Brokeback Mountain
He
jacket.
knows what I'm talking about.
He knows
too.
exactly what you're talking about. But again, we want to
Okay.
go to the convention.
Okay, we want to go to the convention. Be
Yeah.
nice.
All right, Marco Rubio, I think, is coming back this way. Here's,
Mr. Jindal, can I get a fist bump? Thank you. You shocked me.
Do you want to talk
That
to?
much energy here. That
do you
much
wanna,
energy.
Do you want to talk to the youth of America on YouTube?
We got plenty of millennials in here.
Yeah. What did you think of the debate tonight? Who do you think took it home personally?
I think it was a complete knockout by Marco Rubio. You don't even have to tally the points. It was clear. He got under Donald Trump's skin. He irritated him. He showed that Donald Trump has no policy depth. Donald kept repeating himself. It was like the needle got stuck on the record. I probably shouldn't say that to youth. They have no idea what I mean when I say that.
No, records are coming back. I don't know if you've heard of hipsters
when
before.
you didn't pay your Spotify bill and you can't get a new song on, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, if you could translate from me, you just go around with me, you translate.
Oh, yeah.
I'll
you gotta pay me. You gotta pay me like congressman money, so like 6 or 7 figures.
Hey, look, I don't have a job anymore. Pay you. You got to do this on a. I'll give you an unpaid internship.
Oh, that's what you guys do, huh?
Exactly.
Can I meet Obama?
So look, I think that he'll be unemployed too in a few months. Several months, not a few
Oh
months.
no, you make even more money after you're president.
Well,
you know that's true.
So going back to Marco, I think he had a great night. You heard Donald Trump get stuck when he couldn't really say anything about healthcare, so he kept saying the same things over and over.
It was really impressive. Senator Rubio, for the very first time, really hit solid punches on Donald Trump. Do you think that it's going to make a big difference come Super Tuesday?
Absolutely. I think you're seeing more and more momentum towards Marco's campaign. Now, look, I don't think there's one state or one day that will decide this election. I think that this is going to be a marathon, not a sprint. I think Marco does very well this Tuesday, but this campaign's going to go on for a while. I know the press is in a hurry to try to get people to drop out or coronate somebody. That's not going to happen. The voters are going to get their chance, and that's a good thing. I know on the Democratic side, they're in a rush to crown Hillary. On the Republican side, this will be a long-term debate. Let the voters weigh in. Let them decide our nominee.
So young people, it seems to me, care most about the economy, care most about getting a good job. They also care about social issues. They care about net neutrality. Do you believe that Marco Rubio is the presidential nominee that best reflects their needs?
I do. And look, when it comes to the economy, he's got specific plans, cutting taxes, growing the economy, cutting government spending, cutting through regulations. One issue that I think is very important to young people, and I'm no longer young. My kids make that clear to me.
Aww.
I got a 14-year-old girl. I got 11 9-year-old boys. My 14-year-old girl's in high school. She's beginning to think about college, about her education. One of the issues I think is very important to young voters is the increasing inability to afford higher education, continuing education, whether it's student loans or tuition prices. Marco's got specific plans to make college more affordable, whether it's breaking up the accreditation monopoly, whether it's allowing students to pay back their loans based on their income so that they can actually afford their debt and actually afford going to school. That's good for young people and it's good for students. It's good for our economy. We need those skilled, educated workers if we're going to continue to grow our economy. So absolutely, I think Marco represents the next Reagan revolution. He really represents applying conservative principles to modern day challenges and problems. If you want to see a young, optimistic, forward-looking campaign, if you want to see a young, forward-looking, optimistic candidate, look to Marco Rubio.
So let me ask you one final question. If, Hillary and Bernie Sanders obviously are vying for the Democratic nomination. Against Marco Rubio, could he take either candidate? Who do you think would put up more of a fight?
Oh, I think he could take either one. It's amazing to me that they got a socialist running on their side.
A Democratic socialist, let's be clear.
different.
Well, as opposed to what, a Republican social?
As opposed to a socialist.
All right, so I think he could take either one, but it's also clear to me the Democratic Party, unlike the Republican Party, is just going to crown Hillary. Bernie beats her by 20 points in New Hampshire. They get the same number of delegates. But, that's how socialists do things. Everybody gets the same. So I guess you can't really complain.
He's not a socialist. He believes in socialist principles, but he's not a socialist.
All right, so look, Democratic socialist, I think she's a socialist light. Let's not quibble. They're radical liberals. Marco could take either. He could take them both combined if they want a tag team. I think Marco's a clear winner.
Okay. Will, any questions?
Thank you so much. I was going to ask if anything changed in your mind tonight.
Look, I was just even more excited about Marco. I think I was a supporter of his before the debate. Even more convinced after the debate he's the right man to lead us forward.
Thank you so much. Can I have another knuckle touch? You didn't shock me that time. Thank you. If he had shocked me again, I would have been pissed.
A big thank you to Bobby Jindal for stopping by.
Thank you.
Bobby Jindal, change we need.
Change
He's
we need.
not
He
in
was very
office, and
honest.
yet he still stopped by our booth, huh?
Yeah, it was very nice of him.
Yeah.
All right.
So obviously,
Good thing I texted him.
Ben Carson is right next door. He is chatting with Fox News. We are going to grab him. This is happening. Okay. We are not going to let this nominee slip through our nimble millennial
I'm actually going to
fingers.
let you stand over here. You like to do those types of things. It must be crazy to him. He was a doctor. He's used to doing surgeries and whatnot. And all of a sudden, he's on stage with these politicians, cutthroat politicians too. So I have a lot of respect
if they had a
for that.
debate in sign language with his nimble hands, then 100% he would have been a contender.
This
tonight.
man has some radical policies, though.
Yeah.
I think he said, hold on, I got a note on it.
You got a note?
I got a note. I got a couple notes.
I want to thank the over 3,200 people who are watching us live on youtube.com/SourceFed. Continue to send us your Twitter questions via Twitter @SourceFed. And if you're not subscribed to our channel, absolutely do. And hey, if you are not registered to vote, go vote. Okay, if you do not feel that you're educated on the candidates, you can Google a candidate's name and then issues
Google
or positions, and they will list it for you.
Google will tell you everything. It's one of the greatest things on the internet. It is the greatest thing on the internet.
Yeah, I want to give a big thanks to the folks at the Google Data Lab.
Google Trends.
Yeah, we spoke to Simon Rogers earlier, who is one of their data editors, and they really are doing an incredible job of gathering stuff, making it very easy for people young and old to know what is going on this election without having to resort to sound bites.
I believe the Twitter handle is @Google Trends, and you should probably follow things like that if you want to know
It's at
things.
Google Data Lab, actually.
At Google Data Labs?
Yeah.
If you want to know about information, if you wanted to get updated constantly and find out things about what's going on, check out that.
Yeah. So we are going to do our level best to get Dr. Carson as he wraps up his stint on Fox News. With any luck, we'll be talking to him in just mere moments. All right. We got a tweet here from @Boogaloo64. Hey, watching from the UK, what is up with Donald Trump and his lack of policies? Does anyone take him seriously?
You don't need policies when you got money.
Yeah, well, that's the sad thing is, like, at this stage, for a lot of people, it's not about policy. When it comes down to, like, who do they want to lead them, it's who appeals to them. Who do they feel is going to reflect their interests? Yeah, they don't. There are a lot of people that sadly don't need details. And the fact is, if you really want to know who you should vote for this election cycle, the details are where you're going to find who deserves your attention, who deserves your vote.
I think it's exactly what you were saying. Exactly like getting them at the simplest terms, like back in 2008, change. Everybody was like, at the time, everybody was like, what do we need? Change. It was the perfect thing to say.
Yeah.
So?
We got a tweet here from @TreyBone that I really appreciate. Props to Matt for keeping it real with the guests, not letting them bully you with rhetoric. Awesome job. I really, really appreciate that. Look, if
oh yeah,
what's the point of us being here if we're going to resort to the same crap that every other news outlet does? Like, legitimately, look, we're not a news network. We are a comedy network, but we also are like young people who actually give a crap about what's happening to our world. So we're going to give you what information we can, as best as we can, to make sure that you're able to make the same choices that we want to make. Okay? So Ben Carson, it looks like he is about to wrap up with Fox News. They are de-miking him now. We have a Twitter question here that I really want to use @Unkind Statistic. If you get Carson, ask how he's a doctor that doesn't believe in science, more specifically global warming. Dr. Carson.
All right, not if you're going to ask him about it.
We're not gonna ask him that.
I would love a question.
Dr. Carson, we're live on YouTube. Would you like to speak to the young people of America? Sure. So, Dr. Carson, coming off of that debate tonight, obviously the attention was a bit unbalanced. Do you think that that's because of the media news cycle? Do you think that it's a bit unfair? How do you feel going into Super Tuesday?
Well, I think it was because they've become more entertainment television than news. You know, we're talking about a presidential debate. It seems like you should be interested in policies, why people have those policies, and how things work, and how are we going to solve the tremendous problems we have. You know, the young people of America should be concerned about our national debt and how that impacts them as it undermines the fiscal stability of this nation. We didn't talk about any of that kind of stuff. We need to be talking about, you know, educational loans. Of that $19 trillion, $1.4 trillion of it is student loan. We need to be talking about how do we get those kinds of things under control, and what are the security implications of the fact that a large percentage of people applying for the voluntary military cannot get in because of educational deficits. What does that mean for us in the future?
Do you think that the over emphasis on illegal immigration is a smokescreen for larger issues?
I don't know that it's a smokescreen, but it was certainly discussed adequately. It wasn't discussed adequately by me. I would have liked to have said a lot more about it, but it was adequately addressed.
Sir, you were a doctor for over 30 years doing surgeries, and then all of a sudden you're on the stage doing debates with these cutthroat politicians. What was that like?
It's fine. If we had the right kind of moderators they would actually be able to moderate it in a way that would be informative to the people and that would be equitable with the time.
So you blame the system for failing you?
I say that the system did not fail those who want to be entertained, but it did fail those who want to be informed.
Question. Oh, sorry.
I would say that's actually very, very true, because the debate was very entertaining, but was not very informative. One of the points that Dr. Carson did make that I do appreciate is that there wasn't a ton of policy discussed on that stage tonight. You look at Donald Trump, you look at how he deflected instead of expounding upon any kind of policy, discussing how he was going to get Mexico to build that wall. Like, he deflected so many questions that I honestly don't know, like, what is back there and what is actually going to happen if he gets elected president. I feel like he wants to be president more than he actually wants to run the country.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That was intense.
At Benzin on Twitter writes, "Get Rubio over there. Millennials love Rubio."
Millennials love Rubio.
Millennials love him. Yeah. So many people are giving us so many disapproving looks right now. This has never been done at one of these places, and they are not pleased. Yeah.
I feel like we're being loud because there's an interview going on.
Yeah, I know.
over
I don't
there.
want to disrupt their interview, especially because it's been so hard to get people over here. I want to make sure that Complex is able to get as much of a chance as we've had. A big thank you once again to everybody who's watching us live. This is a big deal for YouTube. This is a big deal for us. It's a big deal for you. Continue to send your questions via Twitter, via at SourceFed. We'll continue to read them here on the floor at the Republican debate. You doing all right there, Will?
Are you doing all right?
I'm doing great.
Okay. This has been going on for a while.
I know. It's been all day.
Yeah.
At Lil Caps Lock says, "Oh, well, this is a compliment. Great job, guys. You're doing a great job under difficult conditions."
Oh, yeah. It's so hot over here. Like, you have no idea.
They turned off the air conditioning a solid 20 minutes ago, and the amount of people in here keeps growing. Do you understand the correlation of that data? Now, we have another tweet here, Will. I don't want to disrupt their interview, so we're keeping it a little quiet. I hope that you guys can hear. At Hannah Faith says, "Love that you keep it real. All Americans, not just young adults, should be watching this instead of biased news networks." That's very, very kind of you. We're doing our level best. You know, obviously, like, we're just people. We're comedians. Like, we're not reporters. We're doing our best to give you as much information as we can. Obviously, we have very strong opinions, but, you know, we're trying to make sure that everyone, Democrats, Republicans, everyone in between.
We make fun of everybody.
We make fun of everyone, and we want to make sure that everybody has the information that they need to elect the candidate that makes sense for them, okay?
I got Obama jokes, too. His ears are too big.
His ears are huge. Now, who is that stepping off of that stage? Now, Bobby Jindal is over there. I see the Rubio sign, but I don't see Marco Rubio. And I would love to get him on this show.
I would love to have Marco Rubio on the show.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you know, I think he killed it.
Donald Trump is over there.
Whoa, I've never been this close to Donald Trump before.
Yeah. Okay, up close. Will, first impressions, Donald Trump's hair up close.
Okay, so it does look real. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
That could be a $2 million.
Now, it's got multiple borders. This might be why he's obsessed with a wall with Mexico, because he's got a gelled section, he's got a soft section, he's got a combed over section.
I've never seen anyone other than Lady Gaga have their hair go in so many different directions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty impressive, I'd say.
Now, I'm really impressed that he's down here. And to me, that says that he felt the pressure tonight from the other candidates that normally he doesn't join this kind of spin room. He doesn't normally come through here because he doesn't feel that he needs it. The fact that he's here is a big, big deal. And it says something about what's coming.
Mr. Trump, come speak to millennials.
Yeah.
If he can.
If he can. I feel like he's going to make that one speech to the other side of the wall and talk to no outlets, but it's entirely possible that he may swing through here on his way to Fox News. We are going to keep you posted. Now, obviously, he has a negative history with Fox News.
I'm a millennial. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Oh, you're strong.
You got this, Will. You got this.
Mr.
Trump, would you like to speak to the youth of America on YouTube?
What's your new issue with minorities? I'm sorry.
Will.
He didn't seem to give an answer.
Yeah. Like many of the questions tonight, Donald Trump avoided that question. Yeah.
And they show great support for me. When they were doing that ridiculous thing about a couple of months ago, the people of the UK showed such great support. I love the people of the UK. My mother was born, as you know, in Scotland, She loved Scotland. She loved the Queen.
Cool.
She was a great person, and she loved Scotland.
What would a Trump presidency mean for the special relationship?
I think it would be great.
Can I have a
because
fist bump?
Tremendous respect for you, Ken.
Mr. Trump, do you care about young people, Mr. Trump? Will you give-
Millennials here.
William Haynes wants a fist bump, Mr. Trump.
I'm joining the interview at this point.
Okay. This is
He said I'm
officially
not.
becoming. So he told you that he wasn't
He
gonna.
said I'm not.
So we did get an official confirmation. That's an official confirmation from presidential candidate Donald Trump. He is not giving William Haynes a fist bump. We have that
I
on
also
the record.
asked him what's his new issue with minorities, and he wouldn't tell me.
Once
So-
again, another question, like many in the debate tonight, that he deflected or avoided. We are going to do our best. He's
Why'd
not.
he point to you and not me?
I think it's because of his
You
hair,
know him?
Will. Yeah.
You know
How
Donald
do?
Trump? What's he like behind closed doors?
He's a good man. He's a
Yeah.
good man.
Yeah.
Seem like a good man.
I'm a very good man.
Will is talking
All
to
I
Donald
want
Trump's
is-
son right now.
I mean, it's like, can you also give him one?
Yeah.
Who are you?
I'm Brittany Hebert. Who are you?
I'm William Haynes.
Nice to meet you, William Haynes.
You want a
Yeah.
fist bump too? You look like Lacey Green.
Yeah.
She's a nice person.
Are any of you interested in following Will on Twitter?
Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. I'm
Yeah.
getting a fist bump from that man. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I swear to fucking God in my life.
You were just talking to Donald Trump's son.
Huh?
You were just talking to Donald
Oh,
Trump's
really?
son.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I basically gave Donald Trump a fist bump.
You gave him a fist bump a generation later. Yeah.
I'm too
Yeah.
tired to be doing this.
Talk more to his son.
Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna. Oh.
I would be so pissed if my dad ran.
Would you be interested in talking about your father's permission to the young people of America?
I'm off.
You're
I'm
off
the
when
first in
it's-
America, and I love
I
the
know.
young people of America, but I'm off tonight. I love
Okay.
you guys. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much.
That was so nice.
Yeah.
That was so nice. I would have been rude. I'm a little boy. You could be rude to me.
Okay. Thanks again to everybody who's watching us live on youtube.com/SourceFed. It's becoming a bit of a mob scene here. It's a little difficult, so we apologize for the constantly shifting camera because tons of people are coming through here. Obviously, every candidate has been affected by the events of tonight's debate. It's going to send shockwaves through, at the very least, their messages through the next week, if not through the rest of the campaign. It may be a turning point for one of these candidates.
Yes.
Is it Marco Rubio? Is it Ted Cruz? We don't know.
I think, honestly, it was a monumental night. Everybody up there was doing the best they could, and I think everybody really got their policies out there and said what they had to say. I swear by the end of my life, I will get a knuckle touch from Donald Trump.
We got a message from Darren that's exactly what we did.
Okay.
He said, when Trump walks by, tell him to talk to the youth and that we have 2 million followers.
I don't think it worked. I don't think it worked.
All right. Will, now that we've gotten to meet some of the candidates,
Yeah.
we've gotten to see them up close, do your feelings on the debate remain the same?
I still feel the same. I'm going to be honest, like, Trump, you're cool and all. Not really, but, like, Rubio ruined you. He ruined you. He embarrassed you.
Yeah.
He went in
I
full
believe your
force.
exact tweet was Marco Rubio should ghost write Meek Mill's next diss track.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If he really wants to put it in.
Yeah. I want to thank the nearly 4,000 people that are watching us live on youtube.com/SourceFed. This is a historic moment, a moment where a YouTube network is being given the same kind of opportunities that large-scale cable networks are able to, a comedy channel no less. We're doing our very best to be able to get you exclusives with the candidates to give you the information that you require. Continue to hit us up on Twitter at the handle SourceFed. That's SourceFed.
Seriously, thank you guys for watching. There have been a lot of jokes tonight, but it truly is an honor to be this close to all action. This is something I'm sure I will, and I'm sure Lieberman will remember for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
It's great to be a part of the action.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to @Silvino Riverall on Twitter, who wrote, "Damn, you guys were so close to the Donald. Funny stuff. Keep up the great job."
Great.
So going into Super Tuesday, however you feel, wherever you lean on the political spectrum, don't just think about what you hear. Ask yourself, what do I care about? What do I care about? And how can I help? And the best way for you to help is to vote.
Seriously, voting, once again, is the most important thing. We are a democratic nation. Things
Yeah.
are based on voting.
Vote.
So get out there and do it.
Vote your conscience, vote the facts, vote policy.
Don't let anyone tell you how to vote. Vote based on how you feel. Do some research. Google it.
Yeah,
Just like everything in life, Google it.
Don't care about the commercials or the sound bites or any show, even this show. Don't care about that. The only thing that matters is that you vote.
Yep.
Okay? So it looks like things are kind of winding down here.
Yeah.
The candidates are making their way through. We're gonna stay. We're gonna stay on
Too many Secret
here.
Service agents grabbed me right here, and
Yeah.
a lot of them are strong.
Yeah, a lot of them are very
and real
strong.
tall.
Do you believe that they think you were a threat?
Yeah, probably.
So right now, we're going to stay live just long enough to see if we are able to get Donald Trump to come back through and offer us a quote. I worry that that it may not be possible after our repeated requests for fist bumps.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, that's a real simple request. If
Yeah.
you can't give me a fist bump, what's he going to give this country?
That's true.
All right?
That's very, very true.
I think the country needs a couple fist bumps, if I'm being honest.
Oh, wow. Do you
The
think
economy, immigration, criminal justice system.
Do you
All
think
need
that the
fist bumps.
country needs a davolution?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, we have another tweet here from @RyanMM65. Do you think that Carson is right about the moderators being unfair? If so, are they just adding to the entertainment and not news?
Well, okay, let me tell you about something. In America, this whole politics thing is no longer about politics or information or the country. This is entertainment. As Darren said earlier today, what's the difference between this and American Idol? Americans tune into TV not to learn something. They want to see a shit show, all right?
Well, that also is why I think it's tailored to that kind of entertainment, not only in its conception, but also in the kinds of messages that the candidates are offering.
Yeah.
Because they know that that's what people are going to pay more attention to than the issues. You know,
And
now,
folks, it's only going to get worse unless you vote.
Now, Dr. Carson, doesn't believe in global warming, so he and I have a disagreement. But at the very least, he was coming to the table trying to speak his mind about policy. I don't think that he necessarily did it better than anyone on that stage, but at the very least, that's what he was trying to do. The problem is, like in any school election, the person who tries to do it right but isn't flashy or exciting or charismatic or have good ideas is not going to be paid attention to. Donald Trump promised a wall between us and Mexico. He was this close to promising that we were all going to Six Flags Great Adventure in May. Yeah.
We're all getting free lunch if Bernie Sanders gets elected.
Yeah. @Sage Niehaus on Twitter writes, the fact that most candidates aren't coming up to talk to you guys makes me think that they don't take young voters seriously. I don't know that that's true. I do think that they don't take YouTube seriously. Even though,
Nah, I think it's youth.
You think it's youth?
I think it's youth. Nah, I'm just kidding. I would have loved to have been here. This is a great event. I would have loved to be here in like 2008 or 2012. I would have loved to see Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Mitt Romney or Barack Obama ignore me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would have been an honor.
Yeah.
This is cool. I'll tell my kids, yeah, Donald Trump ignored me. By the time I have kids, he'll have already cloned himself.
Just
and there'll be 12
remember
Trumps.
the fist bumps, Will.
Yeah.
You got the fist
Rick
bumps.
Perry gave me
and
one.
ultimately, that's what's
He didn't
most
answer my
important.
question about the Brokeback Mountain jacket, though.
No, because he's not going to answer that question,
Can I get
Will.
a Rick Perry? Did you notice that the jacket that Rick Perry wore was like the one in Brokeback Mountain?
I did not notice that.
It was great. It was great. Thank you, though.
What is your obsession with that goddamn jacket?
It was a really funny joke that I laughed at 4 years ago.
It's seriously. Okay, he's coming down off of the Fox News stage. So the question is he coming this way or is he going that way? If he comes this way,
Leave him. I won't.
Try to talk to him, ask him a serious question. Here we go.
I'm letting you do this, Lee.
All right, fine. Here, take the iPad. Okay, he's having a quick post-camera chat.
I wish you guys could see this. He's got his hand up. He's pointing.
He's doing the same like physical, the same shtick that he does on stage. It's
That's who he is.
That's who he is, and I think that's why it's the same way that like YouTube. All right, fine. Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump. Oh, sorry. Yeah. 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 Mr. Trump, do you have a quick word for 2 million young people on YouTube?
We're millennials.
Right over here, sir.
Ready?
Yeah.
Young people, I love you.
What's your biggest issue with minorities right now?
None.
None. So that's our answer. That's our answer. Fucking Jinx says, let's follow him.
I can't.
Yeah.
Good was that?
It was. It was a
I was so
great
glad to talk to your
interview.
father. No, I didn't get it.
Okay, here, we'll give you another one.
I'll take another one. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
It's very rare in this life that you are rendered speechless by a moment, but there was that. So, yeah, gang, so thank you so much for tuning in to our stream here at youtube.com/SourceFed. We really appreciate you turning out. Hey, why don't you tweet at us and tweet at YouTube and let them know how much you appreciate them letting us get here on the ground to bring you exclusive coverage right from the debate. We want to keep doing this, so why don't you tweet at them, tweet at us. We really, really appreciate everything that you guys are doing for us watching this. I can't believe you just did that.
I had a real question. It was answered.
Yep. All right. I'm Matt Lieberman.
I'm William Haynes.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We do content 7 days a week. If you're just joining us for the first time, why don't you subscribe? We're going to keep bringing you amazing election coverage all cycle long.
YouTube.com/peoplebelike.
See you soon. Nuclear Family, sketch comedy.